The governor came out with a proposal early on that would allow for $350 million worth of bonding authority to MoDOT to repair about 250 bridges that are on our 5-year STIP right now. But accompanied with that was also an application to the federal government for an infra grant. And I think the most important thing is obviously the Rocheport Bridge is something that we're trying to get some federal funding in order to try to replace that Rocheport Bridge without doing a repair or rehab, which would have extreme traffic delays associated with that. And so that's really what SCR 14 does. It allows that bonding authority. Ultimately, in the day, it was $300 million. We'll continue to work to repair those bridges, and hopefully the federal government will award us an infra grant, and then we'll take care of that I-70 Rocheport Bridge in the process. This is not a solution that will end the conversation. That conversation needs to continue. We still need to seek a funding solution for our roads and bridges. This is basically it's one we're doing something as opposed to nothing, but this is not the end all do all. This is simply a step in the process, but we really need to look for a long-term solution in the future to address our infrastructure needs that we have. The exciting news is obviously Third Read and passed it. It was a long process that ultimately a compromise was reached. Our goal was to minimize as much of the interest as we could. Our original proposal had a 15-year bond window that was about $100 million in debt. We reduced that down to about $22 million in this proposal, trying to do the best that we can. Obviously, in the circumstances that we see ourselves in, Prop D had failed here that we've seen in November, but we still have the problem. Funding roads and bridges is a priority for me, making sure we find a mechanism that does this. And this is not the end-all solution, but it's something I think is necessary and helps us get a long way down the road if we can get it accomplished.